I invite you to listen to this story and share your thoughts. Have similar situations ever happened in your life? Write in the comments. Your experience may be valuable for others. The office buzzed with the usual Monday energy, coffee cups, keyboards, and the faint hum of ambition. Mark, a junior analyst, had just joined the team 2 months ago. He was confident, loud, and certain that his natural intuition made him better than the data veterans around him. He often said, "You don't need all those fancy models to see patterns, you just have to feel the numbers." Across the room sat Dana, a senior analyst with 5 years of experience. She was quiet, methodical, and deeply knowledgeable. Yet she often second-guessed herself, rechecking every formula twice before sending a report. When praised, she'd shrug and say, "I'm still learning." The team was preparing a presentation for a major client. Mark volunteered to lead the analysis, insisting he could finish faster than anyone else. Dana offered to review his work, but he waved her off. "Relax, I've got this. I've watched enough tutorials to know what I'm doing." 3 days later, Mark proudly presented his findings: colorful charts, confident tone, and sweeping conclusions. The client nodded politely, but halfway through, one of them asked, "Why does your projection show a 200% growth in a declining market?" Mark froze. He hadn't noticed that his formula multiplied instead of averaged the growth rates. Dana quietly corrected the error on her laptop, showing the actual trend, a modest 3% decline. The room fell silent. The client thanked Dana for the clarification and suggested she lead future analyses. Mark's face flushed. Afterward, he muttered, "They just didn't understand my approach." But the fallout was clear. His overconfidence had nearly cost the company a contract. Dana, meanwhile, spent the evening questioning whether she'd embarrassed him. She reread her own notes, wondering if she'd been too harsh. Weeks passed. Mark continued to boast online about his data mastery, posting simplified charts on social media and dismissing critics as overcomplicating things. Dana, despite being promoted, still hesitated to call herself an expert. She enrolled in another course determined to fill the gaps she imagined she had. The irony was striking. The one who knew least believed he knew most, while the one who knew most doubted herself. Their paths reflected the Dunning-Kruger Effect perfectly, a mirror of human perception, where ignorance breeds confidence and competence breeds humility. In time, Dana learned to trust her expertise. Mark eventually realized that intuition without understanding was just guesswork, but it took failure for both to see the truth. Moral: overconfidence without knowledge leads to mistakes. Humility with skill leads to mastery. True wisdom begins when we recognize the limits of what we know